Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing this look. I'm actually going to be using the Modern Renaissance palette. This is going to be part of my series that I'm calling the Rebirth of the Modern Renaissance because, you know, a lot of palettes have just kind of come in behind it and buried it alive. So this is probably my favorite look to do with this palette. This is probably my favorite look to do with any palette, which is why I did this look today, because I'm actually going to be filming the makeup aesthetic tag. So yeah, that's why I did this look. And I originally wasn't going to film it, and then I was like, you know what, I'm going to film it. If people want to see it, then I'll post the video. But yeah, this is, like I said, probably my favorite look to do with the Modern Renaissance palette. Hope you like it. Let's go ahead and get started. So I already primed my eyes with concealer, and I'm just taking the Sonia Kashuk 109, like a big fluffy brush, and I'm taking the shade Warm Taupe from the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm just putting that right on the bottom of my brow bone, kind of messily, just making sure I've got it pretty well blended, even up into my eyebrows, just a little bit on the inner part. Just gonna keep layering it on. Then I'm taking a Real Technique shading brush and I'm going into Venetian Red, which is like my favorite shade in this whole palette, and I'm packing that all over my lid. I know it's going to be kind of messy, so that's why I didn't do my foundation first, but yeah, just packing that all over my lid and just being really generous with it because I don't want it to look patchy, but it's a good shade to do that with, like do a smoky eye, because it's got a little bit of shimmer in it, which makes it easier to blend than just like the straight up matte. So I found that it works really well when I put it all over my lid, and I'm just taking some little circular motions up into my crease to blend it out on the edges. Then I'm packing on some more intensity with my finger. Then I'm taking the Real Techniques Essential Crease Brush in the shade Buon Fresco, and I'm putting that in my crease, like right on the bottom of my brow bone, and just deepening up that shadow there, just to make it look like there's more of a shadow in my eye socket, if that makes sense, and just blending out the edges. For concealer, I'm using basically what's left in the tube for my Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define. I did depot both of the ones I had into like a little jar thing, so I'm just putting that all over my face because the foundation that I'm using doesn't like to, I don't know, it doesn't like when I put concealer on top of the sponge, so I went ahead and put concealer on first. I'm actually kind of running out of it, which is why it looks like I put a ton on, when in fact I really did not put as much as it looks like I put on my face. Then I'm going to take the Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation. I'm in the shade F1, and I'm putting that all over my face and blending it out with a Wet n Wild Precision Foundation brush. This foundation, I haven't made my mind up about it yet. I just can't. I don't know. I can't decide if it's breaking me out. I think it is breaking me out, but if I don't use too much of it and if I don't powder it too much, it doesn't seem to be as much of a problem. I don't know. I'm still in the testing phase. Then I'm taking the Kat Von D blotting powder and just powdering where I need to, kind of where I put that concealer, anywhere that I might crease up a bit. So yeah, and then I'm going to take the Hourglass Ethereal Light Ambient Lighting Powder and just put like a thin layer all over my face. Again, I can't really powder this foundation too much. Then I'm going back into the Modern Renaissance palette with a Morphe M504 tiny little blending brush and Venetian Red, and just putting it all over my lower lash line, just being super messy with it, pretty much. Pretty easy, but I'm also not being shy about putting it on my lower lash line. Like, I use my entire lower lid. It looks like I'm dragging it down really far, but once I put mascara on, honestly, it just looks normal. So yeah. Then I'm taking the Essential Crease Brush and Buon Fresco again and just blending out the edges of that. And I know, yes, I get it. I think it looks like it comes down pretty far, but if you've seen any of my tutorials, you know that I do use my entire lower lid for eyeshadow. I don't waste that real estate, so I tend to put a ton of shadow on my lower eyelid. And just blending out the edges. At this point, I'm just shaping it to make sure I have the shadow where I want it, and I I'm shaping the edges. Essentially, I'm just making a shadow on the edges of that red there, almost to make it look like a natural shadow, even though that's impossible. But you know what I mean. Blending, blending, blending. Gonna go back and forth between my eyes because I always do this. And I don't think that it's shown in tutorials enough just how much back and forth you have to do to make sure your eyes match, because that is my life. I have to keep going back and forth until I get them matching. It's just how I do my makeup. For bronzer, I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer because I'm absolutely tired of owning it and I'm ready for it to be gone. I'm using It Cosmetics Velvet Luxe Plush Blush Brush. My most hated tool to say out loud. I'm gonna take the bronzer pretty much everywhere this time, not being shy with it at all. Then I'm gonna take this Benefit Rockateur blush from the Cheek Thon palette that I've had for 3,000 years. And then I'm going to take a Physicians Formula Butter highlight in the shade Pearl on a Real Techniques setting brush and putting that pretty much anywhere I'd highlight. But then I'm going to layer this Becca Moonstone on top of it. So I'm really just trying to use both of the highlights up, let's be perfectly honest. So then I'm going to layer the Moonstone on top of it. But the Physicians Formula also kind of lightens it up a bit, which I like. So yeah, let's just do this highlight thing. Gonna highlight my nose and my mouth and my chin because I just have to have a reason to highlight, to use up these highlights because they're in my project pan and I'm committed. For eyeliner, this is my Colourpop Cream Gel Eyeliner in Mr. Bing. If you guys have seen any of my videos where I use this, you know this is the immortal eyeliner. It will never go empty. But yeah, it's just a brown eyeliner. And I'm gonna put it on my waterline, top and bottom. Then I'm gonna take the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in the shade Trooper, the very famous liquid liner, and I'm basically just tight lining. I'm kind of going in between my lashes though, and just barely on my top lash line. I don't really want it to look like I'm wearing eyeliner. I almost just want it to make my eyelashes look bigger, and if you can see, I'm just being very, very careful, going very gently right up against my eyelashes. I'm almost laying the brush on top of my eyelashes when I do this. I'm not so much drawing on my skin as I am laying the brush on top of my eyelashes. And then I just put some mascara on. And I'm going in with a matte inner corner highlight because I just like doing it lately. It's basically just like a cream colored eyeshadow, almost white eyeshadow, and I'm just packing that on my inner corner because I've just been liking matte highlights for my inner corner and my brow bone. I'm going to do the same exact thing for my brow bone, like a matte white eyeshadow highlight. I just really like the way it looks. For lipstick, using the Colourpop Ultra Satin liquid lipstick in the shade 0.0. It's like a grayish color. And then I totally messed up because the brush is fuzzy. And who makes a freaking fuzzy doe foot? I really do not know. But yeah, I had to fix a lot of mistakes. That's why my lips look extremely overlined, when in fact it's not something I normally like to do to my mouth. And there it is. Finished look. Thanks. Guys, I hope you liked this video. Thanks for watching. If you did like it and you want to see more in this series, please give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments maybe what shade you would like me to use in the next tutorial using the Modern Renaissance palette. If you're not a subscriber and you want to be, just hit the subscribe button on your way out, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.